Today, from Mexico City, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. It's the Mexico City Golden Eagles taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Mexico City Golden Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from Mexico City. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play 1 there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
So excellent starting position here for the Vikings. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Following the fumble recovery, Gary. And this is going to be intercepted. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the bootleg, Peterson. Sliding out of the... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. Peterson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's third and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year. 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Throwing on first down, Gary. And he's got Booker. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season.
And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Out is Mexico City now to go on offense.
As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Again, it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16.
Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing to start the drive. Peterson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Back to throw. Peterson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at the 33. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Scampering home from 19 yards out.
And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Here's Johnson again on second down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Now Peterson to throw on third down. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. 21-0 our score after 1. The first down carry here for Johnson.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Johnson again. And the running leg. Non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
To throw is Peterson. On third down. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Peterson. This is complete to Hawkins.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw on third down. Peterson. He finds his man. Complete. It's McKinney. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Back to throw. Peterson. He finds his man. Complete. It's McKinney.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25.
They try the left side with Johnson. Dances by at the 20. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. A give up the middle to Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
56 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. first down. Gary. Looking left side, and he's got a man. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Peterson now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Back to throw again. And he comes back with one complete.
Finding room at midfield. Still going. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw. Peterson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll get things started in the NFC. Seattle paying a visit to Detroit. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. The Lions trying to hold on and claim victory. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. The Cowboys locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
right, Coach. Thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
68 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 1st and 10, Gary buying time to his left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gary. There's Booker on the catch.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Gary. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Gary. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
Well, here we sit, Week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
Ready, right. Drill 52. Go. Hey, one set. Check line 54. Line 54.
Peterson on 1st and 10. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
120 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings are pouring it on. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
To throw is Peterson. To throw on second down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Johnson running left. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Peterson looking to throw on second down. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They stay on the ground. This time it's Matthews. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bush.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 66 yards.
And the Vikings look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
45, white. All day, baby, all day.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. They can't hang with us. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Peterson now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check, watch 54, watch.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
To throw on second down, Peterson.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now the try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Strip that ball.
Hey, 1-7. Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. You.
Now Peterson throwing after the interception. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Back to throw. Peterson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
The offense on 3rd down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. A Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Mike, 55.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. 156 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this.
They've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were taking pretty much all the way down the field.
Trap 60, trap 60.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Being chased out left, and he will get into the end zone.
They haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now the try here for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Minnesota,
they make NFL history with this, their 17th win without a loss, a perfect 17-0 on the regular season.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the home team here,
they will indeed limp to the finish line, unfortunately, as they close out a 6-11 campaign.
And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.